That video hits hard. Oh man.
It's exciting. The when they make videos like that, I mean, it's clean, it's on point. They do a good job.
Yeah, man. That's seriously these videos, the music, just the production. It's great. It's a great opener and a great closer at the same time. But hi, Rob, how you doing?
Hi, I haven't talked to you online in like 22 hours.
Yeah, I know. We just had a really, really fun stream with Rachel from On Chain Media. That was actually super exciting. I was very happy that we were invited there and we got to share what the Alliance does with all of our followers and all her followers, actually. There's quite a bit of new faces that have been joining World Mobile because of her and what she's been doing. So that's pretty cool to see. How you been?
Are you wearing an antique? Looks like you were wearing the collector's item.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So that's a quarter zip, right?
They don't make those anymore. They don't make these anymore. Yeah,
Man,
exactly.
I didn't get that one. I have a full zip jacket. I did not get the quarter zip. So mine has
no one has this.
the W right under the FCC for Fulham Football Club. You got your W just center of the chest because it doesn't have a zipper in the way.
You know why? Because my buddy, he's a huge Chelsea fan, right? And he was in Spain, and Chelsea was playing Fulham. So he calls me, he FaceTimes me. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm about to watch Fulham play, and I see all these jerseys, and it says World Mobile on them. Do you want me to grab you one?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So he's like, "Which one do you want?" And I'm like, "Surprise me." So he got me this one. I didn't even choose it, but that's pretty cool. That's I'm like, nobody has this because it's literally from that game. It's pretty cool. So shout out to my buddy Mike if he ever watches these streams. Appreciate you, man.
I'm getting a text message now. How do you feel about a special community member guest come on the show here?
Yes, let's do it. Surprise me. I love surprises. You know.
All right.
That's what I told Mike. I was like, "Yo, surprise me." Yes.
All right.
Well, he's watching. I love.
He's watching right now. So I said we'll send you a link and give us a few minutes, and we'll have you join on up. So we'll be getting an unexpected guest. Looking forward to that. Those are always nice.
It's a he, so we know it's a dude. It's not a lady.
It's not WMTX lady. It's not Rachel. It's not BB, right? I don't know that we've had any other guests in the last 2 years that were female, so I think we're pretty safe to say it's wide open still.
Yeah, we're gonna get Rachel on though. She was pretty open. We've talked a little bit about this privately, but I would love to get her on our show and get to know her a little bit because I feel like she got to know us a little bit yesterday. So we got to return the favor.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, she been working with Isaac from the team. She's really, really big in the base community. I mean, her personal account, the Rachel on Chain account, has over 12,000 followers. I mean, she's been growing that, working mainly with base and doing a good job. And I think it's pretty cool that you guys are not in the same zip code, but definitely same area code, and able to hopefully connect at some point to do some things in person. You know, we've talked about doing some meetups, you doing some of your groups out in Cali, and maybe growing that as well with Rachel in the base community.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. And she works with On-Chain Media, as well as a crypto. Oh my God, I'm blanking. Staying with crypto. That's right. Yep. And I've met, I forgot her name, but I've gone to a bunch of their events here in LA as well. And I feel like I've seen Rachel at some of them, honestly, to be honest. She looks very familiar. But anyways, yeah, so I'd love to attend one of these and possibly even throw together a World Mobile event over here in Cali. So that'd be really fun.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be good. But that was a good time. That was fun. I see with the program that we use for streaming, we have a backstage. So if we send somebody out a link and they want to join, they pop up backstage and we have to bring them onto the stage. And I didn't realize that because she used a different program. And so about 20 minutes before we were supposed to jump on, I was just trying to test my camera and stuff. And all of a sudden I'm just sitting there, you know, the green background looking like a goober. And I was like, oh crap, I'm on. So I jumped off real quick. Yeah, there was no safety net there. So I apologize if that distracted anyone from what was happening. But that was fun.
Well,
That was a good time.
don't worry about it. The same thing happened to me actually. I thought it was backstage,
Right.
and I was joking with Rob. I was like, "Thank God I wasn't picking my nose," That would have been horrible.
I might have been. I don't remember.
Uh,
But we
no, you weren't.
it was a good time. We had a good time talking. Mickey was there. It would have been nice to be able to talk with Mickey more, but we're all there to support the launch of what Rachel's doing, and so it's more about providing her content than chit chat with Mickey. So next time. But what's on the
Yeah.
menu for today? We got some things going on. I got a lot of links to share, a lot of some posts to talk about, and I guess where do you want to start?
Surprise me, Rob. Wherever you want to start, let's just talk about World Mobile. I'm excited. I haven't
All
talked
right,
about World Mobile for the past 3 hours, so I want to talk
man.
about World Mobile.
Yeah, actually, what I was doing is we got it was funny because as soon as I jumped off the stream yesterday, we got torrential downpours, several inches of rain in a very short time, hail. It was crazy, and I got a tin roof above me, and so just hearing or metal roof, hearing the hail hit, it was so loud, like I would not have been able to stream. But it's been muddy but dry out today. So between doing some yard work with the kids here on the farm and watching some of the girls on my boys wrestling team were wrestling at national championships. One of them actually won the national championship today for girls wrestling. So fun to watch that. But yeah, it's also trying to keep up with all the chats and everything with World Mobile. But if we jump to let's talk about some air nodes. So
Talk about air nodes. I hear there's a
air
new one
nodes.
coming. There's a
Yeah,
couple
well,
new
on the
ones coming.
video there was three that we had that intro video. But specifically, let's go talk about the Ember node. And this is a node that is happening here in Pakistan. I hear happening in Pakistan. We already have the Sparks, and so everyone says, "What's the Ember node? How does this thing work?" Well, a lot of information has come out about the Ember node. Specifically, we have information on how it works. Where does it sit within the network? And then also there was a follow up post that came out today about what it can earn. And so we just talk about the where it sits first. So this is a really good tweet. I like the graphic here. World Mobile Team put out, but it shows the actual the actual diagram. The backbone of the ISP will take the signal, it'll push it to the Ember node, and then the Ember node circulates and pushes it out to different devices, home devices, the Spark Air nodes, other endpoints connecting to Wi-Fi and cellular. And so it seems like this is like the Ember node is like the middleman with the signal. Helps the ISPs push everything out and then connect everything. So the Embers are going to go to a lot of different types of devices. And I think that's really interesting because we've seen with the nodes that we've been able to buy in Reno, with the portals specifically, and also with the apexes. They generate earnings and income based on the connectivity that comes through them. Your link nodes. If you bought a link node in the Reno area, that's a set fixed price there. But the apex is what gathers all the signals from the links, and so the more links you have connected to an apex, the more money the apex makes. Same with the portal. The portal is there. It's helped push out the signal, and the more people that roam onto the portals, the more connectivity the portal has, the better it produces. And in Pakistan, with the Spark nodes, we've had a fixed rate of income. $1.70 per node per month is what's been generated. We've heard rumors that might actually increase. Probably because of what the Emperor node is going to be able to do, and the amounts of connectivity they're going to be able to turn on, because now they have additional resources to push those signals. So that'll be really interesting to see what happens with the Spark nodes. But the Ember node is going to be able to connect to a lot of these things. So getting Ember nodes in the right spot, getting more connectivity, pushing through it, pushing that signal out, I think is going to really help to increase revenue there. So you obviously want to get one Ember nodes that are connecting, that are being used. The more use, the more revenue will stream through it.
Yeah, and that's literally exactly what they put out in today's tweet when they were talking about, sorry, post, not even tweet. It's not called Twitter anymore. Today's post when they were talking about how much people can earn from an Ember node, and it's very subjective and it's very reliant on how much data gets throughputed through this Ember node and how much people can earn and how many sparks it's connecting, right? What's how many sparks is it providing connectivity to? But um kind of want to read everyone out of the blog exactly what the Ember node is, because it's got a very interesting, and Robbie, you put it very well, put it together very well. But it says that the Ember node is best described as a distribution infrastructure, and it's a rugged outdoor gateway. It literally looks like an Xbox 360. I'm not gonna lie. But it's connected directly to the ISP backbone, and it's installed in the street cabinet on the outdoor enclosure, and it receives a high capacity connectivity and distributes it downstream across the local network. And that downstream layer supports a range of devices, including Spark Air nodes, other endpoint devices, carrier partners, and wholesale customers. This is exactly what that graphic they put out explain. And it says, in other words, Ember node helps move connectivity from the backbone into the parts of the network that delivers it to communities, services, and infrastructure on the ground. It also says that also means Ember node itself does not serve the end user directly. It's not a consumer-facing endpoint. It sits higher up in the network path at the point where capacity is received wholesale and shared out locally, which is pretty cool, actually, if you really think about it. This Ember node can power a ton of Spark Air nodes, it sounds like. And they didn't specifically mention how many Spark Air nodes can this Ember node power, but it looks like it's a pretty beefy piece of infrastructure. And if it could power not only Spark Air nodes, partner networks, right, or other devices and endpoints of different hardware. I mean, you can see like computers, laptops, like whole businesses and homes. Like, it's pretty cool. I'm excited because when you went down into to see how much it earns, people might have been like, okay, well, that makes no sense because the Sparks pay out more, right? But if you step back and think about it, the potential here is it's quite big.
Yeah, and it's something that there's use case for it. Obviously, I mean, how many what 140,000 or is it more Spark nodes are already active, right? So there's a ton going on right there that this is going to facilitate signal and power to. And so I'm sorry, maybe not power, but it's facilitate the signal to direct that current towards. And so we know that they're not just going to install these places randomly and hope eventually there'll be a junction box that Sparks can connect to. We know that these are going to go in areas where they are needed to service the Sparks and to service other home and business connections. So I guess when you think of it that way, there are use cases for it. This is going to empower that network and build it up even more. Now, when you look at the post they made today, they talk about how it's going to how the reward model is going to work, and it's based on 0.0042 cents per gigabyte carried. So obviously, the more use that goes through it, the more is going to you're going to benefit financially. So you want to find these and hope they're in busy places. Hope that they're in places that are being used and serviced. And it's probably because the more signal that the customer uses, the more that the ISP can generate, our partners can generate, and they're gonna pay out as a result for that. So again, everyone's gonna win in this case. But they talk about here, if you look at this, the current planning benchmark suggests an average of 800 gigabytes carried per Ember node per month. At that current rate, that's $3.33 per Ember node per month. And so, if you think about that, that's the current benchmarks. That's not future planning. That's not anything else, and it's not a fixed rate. You got to remember, this is not a fixed rate. Okay, so if you think about this, I believe they said these are selling for $160. Is that right, Cal?
100, yeah, 60 or
Hun-
165
So
or
it's
160.
I
Am I
think it's
wrong there?
100. I think it's 160. And so if you think
160, yeah.
about that, that's basically the average of 3 sparks, right? The average price. I mean, if you were to only buy 5 sparks from World Mobile, they're $62.99 a piece, right? But the more you buy, the better the price breaks. Same with the Alliance. The more you buy, the better the price breaks with these sparks as well. Now, when you break that down, it's 3 sparks. Well, at 3 sparks, you're gonna make $1.70 times 3. That's $510 or $5.10 per month, as opposed to 333. So they're about the price of 3 sparks and the rewards of about 2 sparks with this benchmark, right? But that's also a conservative benchmark that they're going to say this is what it might start around, give or take, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, but the potential to earn is there. And so with the sparks, I feel like the sparks are, if I look at it, because I own sparks, right? I feel like it's a very good return, but it's a safe one, right? It's not speculative. You know what the sparks are going to earn. These have the ability, as they increase the volume, and honestly, 800 gigabytes, if these are servicing multiple units and multiple businesses, multiple areas, 800 gigabytes is not a lot of data to have go through something that has multiple outlets to generate. So I think that this is one of those where, if you want a sure thing, sparks are a good way to go. You can still order them at times, I believe, quarterly through World Mobile if you are staking. I know there's some releases there. You can also get them through the Alliance at any point if you wanted to order and reserve the sparks. Sparks are a good thing. This is speculative that has the ability to earn quite a bit more. And so for me personally, the way I do things, I like to buy a little bit of a sure thing. I like to buy a little bit of a speculative thing, because there's a chance, yeah, maybe it doesn't earn as much. There's a chance that maybe it earns a lot more. And so when these sell, and the first drop for these is going to be on Wednesday next week, I will be lining up, and hopefully I'll be able to get a couple. It's probably going to be a mad dash for these, but I'm very interested in this. I like the sparks. I like the idea of the nodes that are going to come through for Network Builder here in the States, but I definitely want to try and get my hand on a couple of Ember nodes. I think that is a I don't think it's a risk. I don't think I think the reward will pay off very quickly. We've seen how nodes, or air nodes specifically, have done very, very well throughout the history of World Mobile deploying them. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this drop, and I want to be there and be ready on Wednesday.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to all the regular listeners, appreciate you guys coming and showing up, even on the Friday night. We see Villian, we see Dirty Boots, Momville is representing. We have the OG Wave Nose, man. He's always here. He's always watching. We appreciate you, Friezo. You've always shown love. Callus is
remember,
here.
For Friezo, you got to remember, it's 3 a.m. where he's at, maybe 2:30, 3 a.m.
Man.
So he's staying up late to hang out with us.
Friezo researching the Ember Nose right now. I know you're smiling right now, Friezo. He's just read the blog. He's like, I gotta get me one of those Ember Nodes.
Yep. Well, and Friezo won a free ticket to Rare Evo, and so we know that we're going to see him again. Actually, you know what? We haven't discussed this yet, Cal, but we need to. I was talking with our friend Dario from Node for Good, who's been he's provided us several tickets. He asked if we could really start increasing that and doing giveaways on every show, because because Rare is going to be here before we know it, and we don't want people feeling like they don't want to wait till the last minute to try to win because prices might go up. So people might be buying the tickets. These free ones might go to waste. We don't want that. So he asked that we do some giveaways. So I think that we should do 2 giveaways today. Compliments of our friend Dario, Node for Good.
Let's do it.
I think let's do that. So if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to switch to the next topic real quick. We also have a guest backstage in studio that we will introduce here shortly. But let's switch to this topic. If you wouldn't mind taking lead on that while I get the giveaway set up. Does that work?
Of course.
Let's do it.
Let's
do this. All right. Here's the next one from World Mobile.
Topic. I wanted to add a little bit more on the Ember nodes, by the way, but I'll switch over to the next topic. And I have something in my mind. I don't want to forget. What is the next topic, though? Ooh, core level VPN.
No, go ahead. Keep talking and then transition. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. But keep talking with the Ember nodes and then switch when you're ready.
Yeah, for sure. Ember nodes. By the way, I see Jeff in the crowd as well, and Enzo Node. Appreciate you guys. I hope we see you guys at Rare this year. That's gonna be really fun. I missed the last one, so I know Jeff wasn't there either. So I'm gonna love to see you there, Jeff. But yeah, Ember nodes. What I wanted to say about that is someone actually asked me a very good question on Ember nodes, and he said, "What's the projected community impact, and how many people do we expect that this will extend coverage to?" So if you really think about it, World Mobile just posted, and they mentioned that since December 2024, we've sold, and we all know that 130 plus thousand Spark Air nodes in Pakistan alone, and that has brought over 3 million customers, 3 million daily active users. And if you divide that, I see the comments already. No, for good. Let's go. If you divide that, that's about 20 to 25 users per Spark Air node. So if you think about it, and with Ember, with the Ember node, and the fact that this is gonna drive like a real usage driven layer, I'm thinking, and I responded that if we head in the same pace that we've been doing now with the Spark Air nodes, with around 100,000 of these, we should easily see around 3 million customers. And by the way, this is, in my opinion, very, very, very conservative, because this powers, if you can see right in the middle there, it says partner networks. If you think about it, I mean, this can power an entire partner network. And if this partner network holds by itself 100,000 customers, that automatically gets powered by an Ember node. So those are daily active users of World Mobile now, because the Ember node is actually powering them. So the numbers are absolutely insane. We know how bad and how needed is connectivity in Pakistan alone, and how many millions live there. So yeah, easily, if we head over to the same pace, we'll hit that 2-3 million customers in no time through these Ember nodes. So I'm very excited about that. But switching topics to the core level VPN, and a lot of people have asked this question, like, what kind of VPN does World Mobile offer through their services? Is it a standard VPN that lives on top of our plans? Like, what is it? Like, is it optional? Can I turn it on? Can I turn it off? Like, am I going to be blocked by specific in certain regions or certain websites if I use this VPN? And the answer to that is no. And I really appreciate World Mobile for putting this so well and explaining it so well in this thread, because it's a core level VPN. It's baked right into the system, and it's on by default. You can't turn it off. Like, it's on. It's built into the mobile core itself. So your traffic starts from the mobile core, and it's already fully encrypted, which is really, really interesting if you think about it, because you can be tracked by anyone. And that's really cool because World Mobile pointed out, I mean, this our cheapest plan is literally $15 a month, and you already get that privacy built in. I mean, all the plans that World Mobile offers has that privacy baked into it. But for $15 a month to have this premium baseline feature is absolutely amazing. World Mobile pointed out that cheers, by the way, Rob. I'm not sure what you're drinking. World Mobile pointed out
This
that
is a ginger beer.
oh,
So
ginger beer.
It's not the Bundaberg that makes me so smart. Hopefully, this is a filler, though. Hopefully, this is good enough. Hey,
it keeps your hair red.
That's what it is. Yes, I want to pause, and we have a friend in the audience that we were just talking about a little bit ago, but we see Rachel is here listening in, watching in. Hi, Rachel. We were just talking about you a little bit ago. But yeah, looking forward to talking more to you.
Yeah, we would love to have Rachel.
I was going to go somewhere else with that. I just kind of dropped it.
It's the ginger beer kicking in, guys and girls.
This is non-alcoholic, so please don't think it was I'm delayed because of this.
I'm actually drinking something really interesting here too. I bet you've never seen this thing. Probably a lot of the people on the stream haven't seen this thing, but this is I had some Persian food today for lunch, and this is a pretty interesting yogurt drink that has mint inside. And not a lot of people like this, but I actually really do. And it's actually sparkling yogurt, minty flavor. It's pretty good.
I've had a mint yogurt. He's like, what? No, I've had like a mint yogurt sauce when I've eaten either Persian or Afghani food. But I've never had a mint yogurt drink. That's very interesting.
It is. I told you I was going to throw you off.
Nice. Interesting. Sorry, I kind of cut you off mid-sentence there. I apologize for that.
Oh, yeah. So I was saying.
Talk about the VPN still.
See, I already lost it. But yeah, World Mobile offers, I was at World Mobile offers a $15 base plan with built-in VPN at the core. And in that thread, they mentioned, hey, we offer this for $15, but if you buy this as a standalone feature by itself, you likely will pay an additional 10 to 15 bucks. And here we are, World Mobile baked into the core. You get this with that $15 plan. You get to stay private. Your connection, your connectivity stays private from the get-go as soon as you sign up, baked into the core. So that's what I was trying to say. And that's alone itself, like it's a pretty cool feature. Like nobody offers that for 15 bucks a month to start with.
That's amazing, especially when you hear things that you thought were private, like WhatsApp getting sued because they're selling all your data, and all these companies that profit off of it. That's how they can lower their rates by supplementing it, by mining your data and selling it out to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
And
you are the product.
You are the product, not here. You are the signal with World Mobile.
Nah,
just like that shirt you had made up.
The Pavel, who's the CEO of Telegram, came out after a post quoted the WhatsApp announcement, and he's like, "Well, Telegram will never ever do this, because." We're different, and we will never sell your data, but it's just words, like how are they gonna prove it? Like, is it trust me, bro? Like, yeah, I mean, Telegram will. That's exactly what Mark Zuckerberg said. We'll never sell your data. You're not the product. Like WhatsApp is fully encrypted, and Elon is coming out right now and saying with the X chat as well, like we will not track your data. X will never track your data. You can use X messages. Well, then prove it. Like how can you prove it? We want to see it. I mean, people that are in this space are so tired of the trust me, bro narrative. It's like we want to see actual privacy baked in, like World Mobile has. World Mobile, World Mobile has a lot of different competitors, and a lot of them have a lot of different promises, they say, hey, we're private first network, but how do they actually prove that they're private? So World Mobile does, it's baked in, the VPN is in the core, and they can actually prove it because the entire traffic that comes out is fully encrypted, and it's all on blockchain. You can verify it. So that's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
So for anyone that's watching right now, if you look at the bottom of the screen, there's a ticker going across. Win a free general admission ticket to Rare Evo 2026. All you have to do is type hashtag node for good in this chat, whether you're on X or you're on YouTube, and you will be eligible to win a free GA ticket to Rare Evo, which is in Las Vegas. It's at the Aria. It's the end of July, I believe. Is it the 25th through the 28th? Let me pull up my calendar real quick. I tried to open the website. I think either their website's down or there's something wrong with my browser and it won't let me do it. Okay, so it's the 28th of July. Is the 28th and 29th are classroom days and setup days. The conference is Thursday and Friday, the 30th and 31st of July. And there'll be additional things like the poker tournament, pool parties, different types of things going on Saturday if you stick around for Saturday. But the conference itself is the 30th, 31st, but there'll be things going on the 28th through the 1st of August. So in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Aria. But again, we'd love to see you there. Speaking of people that we got to see there, at least I did. Cal, you're busy, supporting your wife, having a baby, expanding your family, all that fun stuff. But I was at Rare Evo last year, and I got to meet a pretty cool guy, that everybody in the community knows. Everyone that follows along, he comes on our shows all the time to help educate us and update us on everything happening, especially with Minutes Network and Unity. So I want to bring to the stage our good friend Callus Bling, who, like we said, you don't see a picture here because he's a little shy, but you will see him in person, all 6'10" of him, or however he's a monster. However much size he has, you will see him at Rare Evo this year as well. So make sure you type in hashtag node for good. Come hang out with us. Come hang out with Callus Bling. Callus, how you doing today?
Good. Can you hear me, guys?
Loud and clear. What's going on?
That's good. Not too much. Just recovering from probably the worst 2 days of the year that I've had so far. So that's been fun.
It's not that bad in Canada. What's happening?
No, honestly, it's not that bad in Canada. I've been having a lot of fun at my day job, and that has inspired me to take up the hobby of drinking honey spiked whiskey. So I did warn you before I joined the show that I have been partaking, and I will continue to partake this evening. I got some good English ale here. So
nice.
Cheers, guys.
What brand of whiskey are you drinking? What is that?
I'm actually drinking a Canadian whiskey, which is pretty one of my favorites. It's I think it's called Honey Spiked 40 Creek, which is a Canadian brewery or a Canadian whiskey company. Someone turned me onto it years ago. I bought it for a friend. This is how it always goes. I bought it for a friend because he loves whiskey. And we were having at his birthday party, I gave it to him. And then me and him proceeded to drink the entire bottle that I gave him that night at the campfire. I had totally not intended to drink that night, but I had to actually phone a taxi and get that to drive me home. I had to pick my car up the next day because turns out that whiskey was really good, and it's been a favorite ever since. So anytime I have a great day at work, I come home and I have a few of those. But
nice.
And
they say the if you remember Andre the Giant. This is before some people's times, but
yeah, I remember him. Princess Bride. How can you
Princess
forget?
Bride? Absolutely. Well, apparently he would drink wine by the gallon. He's French, and he'd drink wine by the gallon because he was such a massive person that it would take him that much just to start to feel things. And I've heard stories about Canadians and how they can throw down. So I'm actually surprised that just splitting a bottle, you're feeling it, because you are also a not only Canadian, but you are a large person, in a good way. Not, I look up to you, and I'm not small by any means. So, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. My brother-in-law is a massive whiskey connoisseur. I think he has over 1,000 bottles at his
I
house
won't
of
lie,
different types of
Rob.
whiskey. So
I just cracked my 7th beer of the evening, and I've had 2 glasses of whiskey. So we're
Well,
having fun
cheers.
tonight.
now that you're feeling good and you have no inhibitions, people are asking.
Oh
People are
shit!
asking you. We need to know what's going on. What is
Build alpha.
happening with minutes, with Unity? We need to know. We need to know the inside scoop, because you're the guy with the ear to the ground. So tell us, what can you tell us, and blame the alcohol for later.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, the alcohol is always the fault. It's always the fault of the alcohol. But honestly, where we're at right now in terms of Unity and Minutes Network and World Mobile to a point. I don't have my ear to the ground as much on World Mobile as I do on Minutes and Unity. But from my perspective, my sense, I get the fact that we are sort of in a transition point, where we're going from what's kind of been, Jingle has been launched but not scaled yet. Unity has been launched but not scaled yet, and everyone's kind of talking about when is it going to be scaled. There's a whole chat dedicated to the transgressions of us, but that's okay. I do love getting screenshots from that chat. So
about
guys,
the chat too.
You know what?
Okay.
It's a great fun, and this is where the alcohol is going to come out. It is great fun reading those screenshots that I get.
Rob,
But
you want to like
it's a lot of fun reading this kind of stuff, and the reality is, guys, is that for a living, what I do is build products specifically for certain companies that are very large. And what Unity and Minutes Network and World Mobile has been building, guys, this is par for the course. The difference being is that these guys are building in public, and when people build in public, it's not what we're used to. It's not the polished, hey, here's the product, let's go type of deal. And even with that, you see sometimes with games and other stuff that is a bit of a, you see some of these poor launches, let's call them, and you see sort of the warts of the process coming out. What you're seeing with Unity and Minutes is kind of raw. It's not something, and maybe even World Mobile. I don't love to include World Mobile on this, but mostly because World Mobile is a much more different product than Minutes Network and Unity, in my perspective. There's a lot more like physical realities with World Mobile that Minutes Network and Unity don't really have to deal with. But let's talk specifically about World Mobile or Minutes Network, sorry, and Unity. They're building in public. That's the bottom line. They're building right in front of us, and people are always accusing me of just whitewashing this and ignoring the problems. I'm not ignoring the problems, guys. I see the problems. The difference is this is what I see from day to day in my day job, right? And I'm just seeing this exact same thing in Unity, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, yeah, that's what it. This is what it is. This is the reality of building something revolutionary. This is the reality of building something new. That's just what happens, guys. And it does suck. That's the reality. It sucks when you're sitting here going like, oh, my rewards are lower. Or, you know, in my business, oh, we are not going to launch this month. We're going to launch in 6 months. Yeah, that sucks because I got a lot of money tied up in this, and now I'm not going to earn anything for 6 months. Great. That's awesome.
You know, the thing about that though, Callus, is if you look at a publicly traded company, right? You're going to get, the reality is you're going to get a quarterly earnings report.
Yep.
And the investor's going to get that maybe an hour before it gets announced publicly, right?
Maybe.
Sometimes they get it after, right? So a quarterly earnings report, and you might have a yearly shareholders meeting where you get to go and line up. I used to work security for the company that hosted Berkshire Hathaway's convention, right? They had a bunch of on-duty police officers that were there, walking the crowd, guarding Mr. Buffett, guarding the entrances, doing everything. And, you know, people would line up and he would speak for 4 hours at a time. People would ask their questions. And sometimes people would ask questions in a rude way and get escorted out, right? But that was usually the access, unless Warren Buffett went on to CNN or Fox Business or whatever it was to go and talk about something. You're getting quarterly reports. You're getting public filings when they go, you know, buy a company or they trade things for cash or whatever. You're getting once a year access to these guys with a couple of printed reports and maybe some sort of explanation. And those are for the big publicly traded companies. For things that aren't publicly traded, you're not getting much of anything, you know, announced publicly. And so the fact that, like you said, they're building in public, they're building out in the open. You know, they're not going to their buddies for private equity only, right? They're allowing a community to help build these things and do these things. Unity nodes. I mean, we were able to buy Unity nodes. We were able to buy switches and validators. You can still buy them on the secondary market. We can own the token, and we put faith that the companies are building to a point where the token price is going to go up because of the projects that are going to generate revenue, right? But we're getting updates, and it's so funny, and not funny, to watch as people throw temper tantrums and get impatient because they're not getting daily, sometimes hourly updates. I've actually seen, because I'm in a couple ambassador chats, I've actually seen ambassadors for some of these programs say, you promised to reach out today, but where you're at right now, it's 11:30 at night. Are you going to release it in the next half an hour? Like the impatience of people to want to demand things. And there's one thing to hold folks accountable, but there's another thing just to be ridiculous about things. And I feel like that's what generates. You mentioned this this chat that we try not to even mention or talk about with all the ne'er-do-wells. But a lot of what's going on there, it's people that are just, it's not happening at the speed I want. I envision millions of dollars rolling around like Scrooge McDuck and his money, and it's not happening yet, and therefore it's a scam. I'm being cheated. These guys are wankers. Whatever the commentary is. But it's like, you don't get this level of communication. You don't get this level of transparency with other companies, either private or publicly traded. And I've been around some. I know that you've been around some. It's amazing what they share with us. It's amazing what they offer up. And so I am a fan. In fact, I was actually having a personal conversation with one of the team members from Minutes Network today. They reached out to me and we're just chatting about life and just kind of catching up because it's been a while. And it's like, you don't get that level of service from these private companies unless they're your personal buddies that are, you know. So the fact that Minutes Network, the fact that World Mobile, they care about the community, they reach out publicly, they talk to you privately. I'm so impressed by what they're doing, what they're building, and how they continue despite the weekly impatient folks that and I get it too. I wish that things were moving up a little bit more.
But, I mean, yeah, me and you have had conversations about this exact thing, right? We're not immune to this. right? We're not immune to this idea that like we want to get things done quicker. Like, yeah, absolutely. Do I want Unity to start spitting out more income? Absolutely, I do. And I think you do, Rob, and I think you do, Clover. I mean, we're community members at the core. I mean, I don't get, despite the best conspiracy theories, I don't get any money for this. Like neither do you, Rob, neither do you, Cal. Like we're just sitting here for the love of the game, so to speak.
But
and so
there's a vision though. There's a vision.
There's a vision, exactly. We're here because we see that vision. You're exactly right, Rob. That's why we are here. That's why we stayed to be here. I think that's why a lot of guys are here.
Speaking of guys that show up, I want to just say hello to a good friend of ours who is commenting from a place where it's 3 a.m. We have our friend Val, Crypto Val, Telecom Val, a Minutes Network ambassador, and one of the guys that helps carry this thing along with you. So Val, I know it's very, very late or very, very early for you, but we're glad that you're here as well. Speaking of people who believe in what's happening here.
Shout out Val, man. You know,
oh man, 3 a.m.
Everyone, I feel like 3 a.m. for the European fam right here. It must be tough, you know. But it's all good, man.
But hey, though, you know, this is
like
for
it's all good.
This is for our friends in Oceania, though, right? Because it's Saturday afternoon there, and usually when we're running the spaces, it's like 3 a.m. for our Oceania friends. So our European friends, you know, hey, we're spending our late Friday nights hanging out with you guys. So we apologize for our European friends it's very early in the morning, but we're glad you're here. I saw our friend from Guatemala as well is commenting.
Telecom GT. Have you seen this post, by the way? Absolutely amazing. You know, he's been killing it with Unity, and a lot of people
he's gonna be super happy with the next sim task coming out. I think.
I hear
that is in Unity specifically. I think he's going to be extra happy being in Guatemala.
I almost shared his name. He actually asked me one time. He goes, "Hey, please don't say my name publicly," and I about dropped it. So but it was our friend from Guatemala. But man, I need to take some lessons. I tell you what, I'm gonna out myself here. I only have 17 licenses leased out. So I'm definitely behind the times there, you know, because one Unity node has 200 licenses. And so I only have 17 total that are leased out from my dashboard. And so I'm falling behind. So I need to take some lessons from you guys, from him. I got to figure this thing out because I think that Unity has a massive potential, and it's just a matter of getting on and getting that stuff out, whether to people you know or just to find better ways to market it.
Yeah. Hey, we've been running for about an hour and 20 minutes, and we should probably give one of those tickets out. What do you say, Rob? Since we're giving
been 50 minutes. Been 50 minutes. We started at the half hour mark. But yeah, so let's do this first one. Let's do this first giveaway, because we all know that you guys want to hang out with Clover Nodes and Callus Bling in Las Vegas at the end of July at the Aria Rare Evo. So let's do this.
Non-alcoholic beers on me and whiskey on Callus. Let's go.
Whoa. What is this non-alcoholic beer nonsense?
Like root beer?
Oh, man. Yeah.
I mean, I got ginger beer?
No, just Heineken
ginger beer.
Zero, man.
Wow, you guys are.
It says beer on the bottle, but it's completely. This is ginger soda.
You mean I've been drinking like 7% alcohol beer, and you guys have been drinking ginger beer?
I got
actually been drinking Arabic yogurt, so definitely no alcohol in there.
Excuse me for mocking you, but
gives you extra.
No, that's fair.
Hair on the chest. So
yeah, fair enough.
Let's do this. We have 7 giveaways real quick. We're gonna do 2 of these on the show here. First one is gonna happen right now. Hashtag Node for Good. If you're watching it, you want to win a free general admission ticket to Rare Evo. Hashtag Node for Good. Put that in the chat and it'll qualify you. We have 7 entries right now. But we're also on a Friday night where most people are not spending their Friday nights with us, which is just fine.
Drinking whiskey.
Probably a good thing, to be honest. Can I
there's
just
another
say
one.
hashtag Node for Good and try to win one of those?
Just go in the chats.
No,
hashtag Node for Good.
Hey, no cheating here.
Right? No cheating. Okay.
Because it's going to actually pop up right here. Now you can win whether you're on YouTube or on X, but if you right now it's 12.5% is your odds. So there you go. If you are on YouTube, we will ask you, if you win on YouTube, we'll ask you to send us a DM on X or to our email just so we can connect you, because I don't know how to get a hold of certain people via YouTube. So you have to bear with my technological deficiencies. But here we go for the first one. Oh, there's a 9th one. There's a 9th one right there. Here we go. Node for Good. Free ticket to Rare Evo.
Looks like Val is yelling about NDAs. I don't know what he's talking about, to be honest.
Oh, there it is. Matt, our friend Matt from Texas. 633 full life. Matt is a veteran. He's a great guy. Great guy. He and his wife are incredible. And we missed them last year. They had to cancel last minute. So Matt, congratulations. Matt, just hit us up, either me or Cal. You got my numbers. But just as a reminder, we're gonna get this over to Dario, Node for Good, and he is going to hook you up with a free general admission ticket to Rare Evo. And again, guys, even if you have your tickets and you don't need another one, Val had hashtag Node for Callus. There you go.
Val understands. Val understands what I'm dealing with right now. Callus needs a node.
So, guys, if you even if you we're going to give away one more. We're going to leave this thing going. We're going to do one more before the show ends. But even if you have a ticket, what Dario is doing with Node for Good, he is using his assets via World Mobile to generate funds to help kids in schools, to benefit them with lack of connectivity in certain schools, in certain school districts. And so what he's doing, it's very, very inspiring, and he wants to raise awareness for it, and he loves the World Mobile community. And so just like he bought 10 tickets that he wants us to give away over time. And because he's doing that, we're giving these away. We'd encourage you, even if you have a ticket and you want to register for this, we'd love it. Pay it forward. Get your brother, get your friend, get your kid to come along to Rare with you. But we'd love to have you there. If not, then give it away to somebody else. Find somebody else who needs it. And we want to support the World Mobile community, and we want to grow this, and we want to all be together. That's the best times, and the times that we're all together. So Matt, congrats on that. And we'll make sure that we pass this over to Dario. But we'll be doing one more of these before we end the show. So Callus, if you wouldn't mind, we're going to put you on the spot here. The more you drink, the more we're going to make you talk. Yeah. We want to know, tell us about Jingle. If you could, just for the folks that don't know, give us just a little precursor. What is Jingle? What's the point of Jingle? And what's happening with Jingle within Minutes Network?
Oh, you are putting me on the spot. All right. That's good. What is Jingle? So Jingle, in general terms, is just the ability for Minutes Network to terminate calls on endpoints. All right. Anywhere that the Jingle SDK is installed. So the goal for Minutes Network is to get Jingle SDK installed on as many phones as possible. And there's a few different ways they can do that. Some of the ways is get it installed directly on devices. Some of the ways is get it to be installed on applications or offers that Jingle kind of offers out to people. And the general idea is that when Jingle's installed on a device, it allows Minutes Network to terminate a call to that device and earn 100% of the revenue. So that's the real goal. I mean, honestly, Minutes Network wants to have these calls or have this SDK installed on as many devices as possible. And frankly, if you're in World Mobile, you want the same thing. You want this SDK to be installed on as many devices as humanly possible because it gives you more endpoints to terminate calls on. Now, call termination is a big deal. Call termination is, to terminate calls is where you make all the money. You don't make the money on originating calls. I mean, you make a little bit of money, but you make that money from the subscribers. But if you can terminate calls, that's where the money is in terms of telecoms on sort of the software basis. So it doesn't matter where the call is originating from. If you can terminate it, you're making the money. And that's what Jingle allows us to do. So we want Jingle on as many devices as humanly possible. And what we're seeing right now in terms of the Explorer is the first sort of calls on the network going through Jingle. And so there's not very many. I think there's 400 or so on the Explorer. We're seeing, 200-300 minutes a day. Not very many users, 40, 50 users maybe, but that is set to expand in the next couple days. Absolutely fantastic. That's what we're waiting for. And yeah, guys, like this is the moment. This is where we're waiting for. This is everything, that we've kind of been building for. World Mobile too. I mean, the more endpoints that are available on the Minutes Network, the more endpoints are available for Jingle. The more endpoints available for World Mobile, the more money World Mobile makes. I don't know how many of you guys have been sitting there watching this very closely. I know a few of us have been. It's all interconnected. And it's interconnected in a way that I don't think very many of us have experienced or seen yet. But the interconnection is absolutely phenomenal. And honestly, I don't even know if we know the full extent of where this goes. But the plans that have been laid here, guys, are absolutely phenomenal. And I would encourage you, if you haven't gotten involved in Unity, to seriously look at it. If you haven't gotten involved in Minutes Network, I'd encourage you to seriously look at it. You can come to the unofficial chat. You can come to the regular chat, and we'll help you out there. If you're on the Minute side and you haven't got involved in World Mobile, guys, seriously look at it. These are, it's. I don't even know how to explain this. This is so interconnected. Everything we see that these guys are doing are all kind of coming together all at the same point here.
Well, and what's really interesting to, like you said, I feel like they're all building and they're all right there. But being interconnected, I think it's really important to remember, even if you don't have a Unity node, even if you haven't bought into Minutes Network, either with the token or with the switch or a validator node, we want them as World Mobile community members, as people who are doing things with the World Mobile chain. We want Unity to thrive. We want Minutes Network to thrive, and we know they're going to. But the more they can do, the more traffic they bring into the network. It's all getting paid back in WMTX, all going through the Earth nodes, all going to generate additional revenue for buybacks, for tokens, for Minutes Network tokens, for WMTX. Everything that happens is going to drive up the value of all the different segments, the different pieces that have gone into building within World Mobile Minutes Unity, the World Mobile chain. It's just like as World Mobile chain builds and they bring on different telecom partners and different people that want to build their own companies using World Mobile chain and the different outlets that we have there. Everything benefits the community. Everything benefits the EarthNode operators. Everything benefits the token holders. And so as Jingle builds up and generates more revenue at scale, as Minutes Network, as everything grows there, as the token value even goes up within Minutes Network, we know that is going to all come back and add to this entire ecosystem, which benefits everybody, whether you're a long-term holder, whether you're somebody who takes those earnings and wants to cash them out. If, some people are going to take those earnings, cash them out to buy additional assets like air nodes, other ways to generate money. I mean, the opportunities here are humongous, but watching each different section of it come together, interconnect, it's gonna raise it for everybody else here, benefit everybody else. I think that's what excites me the most about this. I have bought Minutes Network tokens. I have a switch and a validator node, right? So I'm anxious to see those things profit. But I know that as an EarthNode operator, as somebody who has Spark Air nodes, I know that everything that goes through each piece of that, whether it's physical hardware or a computer device or a piece of computer software, everything that travels through that entire network, that entire system, is going to benefit the things that I've looked into. It's going to benefit the things that Cal has, the things that you have, Callus. That excites me, because knowing it's like, look, if something is lagging behind, we still do fine. If something is really going ahead, it's not going to leave everyone else in the dust, right? We're all going to be carried up together, and this thing is building and growing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you just nailed it. Recently I was sort of told about people that are maybe less thrilled with Minutes Network than they probably should be in the World Mobile community. And maybe some people in the Minutes Network community that are less thrilled about World Mobile. But guys, these projects are linked at the hip, right? They are essentially the same, We have, at this point, we have Minutes Network, MNTX, we have WMNTX, we have each node that's available to purchase. We've heard of the Unity Network token, which came out a few weeks ago. All these projects are basically, they're not the same project. Each has its own sort of, I don't know what you'd call it. Each has its own perspective. But they're all basic angles of the same project, right? When you hear Mickey talk, when you hear Josh talk, and they're describing this, vision that they have of how interconnectivity happens, how telecom connectivity happens, that is World Mobile, WMTX, MNTX, and the Unity token together. And if you own tokens in all three of those, if you own nodes in all three of those, you're going to be very happy, as Josh has said, and has been repeated many times in some of the chats. That is the end goal. And guys, we're not just talking about this, for the fun of it. We're talking about this because that's what we see, right? It's not just because we're incentivized to talk about this because we own some. No. It's because that's what genuinely we see coming up. These are the three tokens that are going to take over deep in. I truly believe that.
So let me ask you a question about the token.
Hold on. They're already taking over Deepin, by the way. I was going to jump in there and just say that. I mean, World Mobile Chain just posted something really, really. I love this post, by the way. Came out from the World Mobile Chain account, and they said that in February, World Mobile Chain generated 1.49 million in revenue, and the same month, the 7th comparable Deepin projects that came from the Solana network combined generated $2.4 million. You know, which is, you know, the big top dogs. I mean, we're talking about Render. You know, we're talking about Helium. The not so big dogs, you know, like the XNets and the GeoNets and the Hive Mappers, and, you know, all of them combined. I love this post, by the way, because it like puts it like so well into perspective. They all combined have 1.22 billion market capitalization, and WMTX is just sitting there at 60 million. So not only are they leading Deepin, I'm specifically talking about World Mobile Chain here and WMTX. Not only are they leading Deepin with all of the revenue generation, and by the way, this revenue, all of us know it's coming from a low ARPU market. Like Pakistan is nowhere near what the United States is going to bring. Pakistan is nowhere near what Korea and Mexico and a lot of the different countries that World Mobile's been eyeing and going to deploy in is going to bring. So if you really think about that, I mean, sitting at 60 million, 300 and whatever, you know, spot on coin market cap right now, it's just so undervalued. And that's why I love when they put out, even though like it sparks a little bit of, you know, controversy possibly, because we're all Deepin project, where, you know, we work together with one another, but it kind of showcases like, hey, look at us. We've been building for a while now, and it's time for our numbers to outshine everyone else, because, you know, revenue is the king right here. If you don't have revenue coming to your Deepin project, it's just a bunch of fluff, and you're gonna end up where all of the other Deepin projects ended up with. You know, you can only pay your operators with inflation for so long, and with imaginary token money, if you want to call it that, for so long, versus before you go kaboot.
You know, speaking of tokens, and I want to see if you guys know this. I'm going to show a little bit of my crypto naivete here, but I wanted to ask about the token because, and I'm not talking price, but so I looked at taking some rewards, right? Instead of auto staking, when you claim your monthly rewards through Minutes Network, you can have the ability when you claim them just to have them sit in your wallet. You can restake them whenever you want. But I had a couple months worth that I hadn't done yet. I spaced it. I left them on there. So when I pulled these rewards off, I was like, you know what? I wonder what this would look like. You know, the price jumped up from, you know, what, 5, 6, 7 cents up to 20 before it started to come back down, right? Just in the past week. So I looked at, I said, I wonder if I were to sell these. And I just pulled up on I use MetaMask, and I went to say, all right, if I were to sell X amount of tokens, and it wasn't a lot. It was maybe, I don't know, maybe $1,500 worth, maybe. I had a 10% slippage. I mean, it was almost, of that price was almost $200 in slippage fees because of the lack of liquidity in Minutes Network tokens. We know that the majority of Minutes Network tokens are restaked. Something close to what I think it's close to 80% of Minutes Network tokens are staked, either, you know, on the public node or on the private switch or validator nodes that people own. So there's not a whole lot of token floating around because most of the token hasn't even been released yet. They do a burn every time they do buybacks as well. So there's not a lot of tokens out there in the market in these liquidity pools. And so you try and sell any amount, and I didn't, but you try and sell an amount, there's a massive amount of slippage, even for a small amount of tokens. So I'm just wondering, what would it take to get it to the point where there is an ecosystem and not just a buy, stake, and hold forever, with something like Minutes Network, because we know there's not a large amount of tokens. I mean, there's about a fourth of the amount of WMTX in MNTX, right? It's like a 4-to-1 ratio. We know that most of it hasn't been released, and what has been released is predominantly staked. So, do we see this staying that way as the as Minutes Network grows? Is it going to be hard to sell tokens just because there's not enough liquidity to sell them on the open market? Do we see, as this thing grows, more volume equals more customers, more liquidity, or do we see this as buy, stake, and hold?
I mean, look, I don't want to speak for the team, but I'm kind of going to right now. I mean, if you look at how this token MNTX, I'm speaking of specifically here, is set up, I mean, it's hard not to imagine that the team isn't imagining a flywheel that just keeps pumping the price. Now, I'm not speaking for the team. I'm not telling you that that's what they want. But just look at the tokenomics, guys. Like everything is fed back into the token. In terms of MNTX, I don't think there's a better token out there in terms of 100% of the net revenues is fed back into the token, and a part of that is burned every month. I mean, we've become a little bit famous in terms of, you know, the unofficial chat in pumping out napkins with kind of absurd numbers. And I fully admit that they seem sort of absurd, but when you follow the math on these guys, it's kind of hard to argue with the numbers. And so, you know, Rob, what you just said, like, when you look at these things, what is MNTX designed for? What is the token designed for? And it's designed for scarcity. It's designed for staking. It's designed for, you know, buy and hold. And it's designed for scarcity. That's the reality of it. I mean, 80-something% of it is staked right now at early stages. And when you run the numbers on them, that's what makes sense. It makes sense to stake them. So when you're looking at that from a speculative process, what happens to a very scarce token when tons of revenue comes in? Right? What happens to that token? And you know, I don't want to lead you into a you know, premature conclusion, but what happens to a scarce token when tons of revenue hits it is scarcity. And what happens to a scarce token economically is that the price goes up. So,
well, I think the only concern there is price goes up, but then there's an inability to sell.
That's fair. That is fair. In terms of what we see today, right? Absolutely. I mean, there's not a tremendous amount of liquidity in the pool. That's a very fair comment.
Yeah, but that's not an issue that can be fixed, though. You know,
exactly,
like
and that's fixable.
What
that was what my next point was going to be. Like, the more volume that gets pumped into the flywheel, as we call it, the more, 100% of MNTX's net revenues get pumped into the token. So the more that gets pumped into this token, the more volume that's going to be. So yes, right now, we have millions of dollars, but tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. As that comes in, the tokenomics don't change necessarily, right? The incentive to stake doesn't change. All that changes is the amount of liquidity, as Clover just pointed out. So absolutely massive opportunity here. I don't like talking about it, you know, as you guys talk about price points. I fully understand that. Just look at it for yourself. Look at the opportunity coming up. It's pretty good.
I agree, personally. Yeah.
So I was just gonna throw in there a couple things, folks. I for whatever reason, there's a back button on this this giveaway page, and there's also a I thought it was a reset button. When you hit that, it backs out completely, and it starts to look for new entries. So even though we had 11 before the last giveaway, there's only 5 entries showing up now. So if you wouldn't mind, please just hashtag node for good. I hate to have you miss out because I user error. I hit the back button and it reset everything. I feel like I've done this once before, but so hit hashtag node for good. We want to give away one more ticket before the end of the show. I know that we're at almost the hour 20 mark. Usually we try and keep these between hour 15, hour 30, unless there's a big reason to keep it going. And I know that it's also Friday night for everybody, so I don't want to drag it on too long. So as we start to close up, definitely want to make sure that we are getting more people entered in for this free ticket giveaway to Rare Evo. We'd love to have you there. And also, as we stated, we're going to start wrapping up real quick. But before we do that, though, Cal, I don't know if you have any topics that we haven't covered yet that you wanted to go over. We do have a request from our last giveaway winner, Matt, if we could elaborate on the Unity token that Cal has mentioned briefly. We haven't talked about that at all. But again, if there's anything else we want to discuss, either that or anything else before we wrap things up.
Before we get into just a quick reminder that there is now an updated AMS account. So if you go to my.worldmobile.io, you can log in there, and you don't have to be a phone subscriber to start onboarding customers to World Mobile. So that's pretty cool. And you can grab yourself an affiliate link there, and you can just start passing it on to family and friends and whoever you wish to, because obviously the more subscribers we get on the World Mobile Network, the better for everyone. And there is also a network builder app that launched on iOS. That was about 2 weeks ago, and it is now live on the Android Google Play stores. So if you're participating or partaking in the network builder, if you're looking to stay mobile and you want to join the next auction, which hopefully it's going to be soon, just download the app, and you'll be able to manage your NFTs. You'll be able to check out your watch list and place bids directly from the app when you connect it to your wallet. So that's pretty cool. So these are 2 things that you should keep your eyes on. And next week, there will likely be a World Mobile AMA prior to the Ember node going live and for sale. So make sure you keep your eyes open for that link because World Mobile is going to obviously talk about all the possibilities that the Ember node brings, as well as a lot of different interesting things they've been working on the background, which is going to be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. I guess now we can go into the Unity node token. Maybe Callus can help our listeners understand a little bit what the Unity token is, what is it not, and maybe explain to everyone why it was released now and what's the purpose of it.
Oh man, you're hitting me with the hard shit right at the end of the night. It's almost 10 o'clock here. What Unity token is?
You're in Canada though, don't you guys have like 24 hours of sunlight? So middle of the day for you right now, right? It's summertime.
Yeah, right. I watched a video today that explained that most, there's more Americans that live north, more northern than me than Canada. Basically saying that I am pretty much southern Canada. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. So what is Unity token? Unity token is a utility token. It's something that couldn't be served on the Unity network for MNTX and WMTX. So it needed its own token. And, credit to the team when they figured this out. If you notice the tokenomics on that, on the actual paper, you'll notice that there's very little set aside for the team. There's 10% going to treasury, 90% going to community. So, the community is well represented. It's a token that needs to exist. It needs to exist for various reasons. And looking at it as an ambassador, as someone in the MNTX community, I can't help but think that we're very well represented.
But
as a node holder for MNTX, we're well represented. As an Earth node holder, I'm not an Earth node holder, but the ones that I've talked to, they're well compensated here.
But this token, this isn't going to be something that, all right, we're gonna throw it in an exchange and jack the price up, and it's just going to be another way to go buy it, flush out. This isn't an income revenue stream for the team. They're not trying to create a token to raise money, right? This is a governance token.
No
this is allowing you to vote, to help set the standards for what is going on within Unity. Not a, well, we sold out a node, so let's create a token to sell there to try and generate some more money as well. That's not what's happening here, correct?
Yeah, and maybe I didn't get that point across. It's 100% a community token. Almost none of the revenue or none of the revenue is going to the team directly. It's 90% of the entire revenue is going to the community. It's basically 90% airdropped over 5 years. I don't know how anyone could argue that the value is going anywhere other than the community. World Mobile is well represented. Minutes Network is well represented. It's exactly what you want to see. And above all that, Unity token holders, Unity node holders are the primary beneficiaries. So, in terms of what I look at, what can you possibly complain about? It's tremendous amounts of value to the community. It's like I said, it's difficult to complain about. All the value is going to the community holders. All the value is going to World Mobile community holders. Although all the value is going to Minutes Network community holders and especially the Unity node holders. Like I said earlier today, everything is sort of interconnected, and with Unity token, you can really see that. So absolutely, it's all, I keep saying it's all coming together, and firmly believe that. And we're looking at in my opinion, pretty how do I say this without getting into the financial aspects of it? We're looking at a few good months. Let me say that. In terms of value, we're looking at a lot of value being delivered to the community. So yeah, you know what? You had to be involved in Unity. You can still get involved in Unity. Round 1 is still open. You had to be involved in Earth nodes. You have to be involved in switch nodes and validator nodes. But people who are involved in that are going to be very well rewarded, should I say. I got to be careful because I don't want to say too much, right?
I think we're all in here to help affect change and do things that are going to benefit people other than the guys in the corporate offices and the high rises. But we definitely would love to be able to take a piece of that as well. And so that's definitely the goals. If we can help raise this thing, hopefully there's some sort of tangible benefit as well. So looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to watching what happens when the Unity paper. I know they've released, but just learning more about it, learning as it gets closer to the release. We know that Unity nodes need to sell out first before this happens. But there's definitely there's a lot happening here, and it looks like it's going in a direction that's going to, like you said, encourage and benefit the ecosystem that we are all a part of. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to eagerly watch what happens there. As we go to wrap the show up here, as you can see in the bottom, last chance, Node for Good, hashtag Node for Good. Whether you're on YouTube or you're on X, in the chat right now, please hashtag Node for Good. I got 10 entries, so I think we got everybody back, but one that we missed out on when I hit when the user error hit the wrong button. But we want to give away one more ticket to Rare Evo at the Aria in Las Vegas, Nevada, the 28th through the 31st of July. Looking forward to seeing everybody there, and especially if you can get there because you're able to get a free ticket for admission. So let's do this real quick. Let's pull this up here, and we'll try this one more time. Again, if you win, please reach out to us, send us a DM on X, either at the Alliance page or to myself or Clover. But let's do this. One more giveaway here before we end the show. Good luck to everybody.
Let's go.
This is kind of fun because it's like a slot machine or something. You got to watch it actually kind of happen, and then there we go. Our friend Enzo Node, Enzo, and we know that there are like 84 people within the Enzo community. I don't know how many, but we have Brad and his team, and they've definitely raised. What I like about what Enzo's doing is it's a community project, and not big community, but small community. They are he's running nodes, Earth nodes, Unity nodes, but it's not just him. It's not just him and his partner. They actually have a small group of family and friends that have said, hey, we believe in what you're doing. We want to help out. So they've raised these funds. So he has actually a community. I know that he has definitely several people that he could give this ticket away to if he has his own ticket already. But we love Enzo. We love hanging out with these guys. They're great people, great supporters of the Alliance. They love World Mobile, love Unity, everything. They are very fully integrated and doing an incredible job. So Brad and team, congratulations. Earlier, Matt from Texas. Matt, congratulations on winning these things. We're going to hook you guys up with Dario and make sure you get these tickets sent to you ASAP. So thanks again for being here, spending your Friday nights with us, you guys, and congratulations. So as we wrap the show up here, we're sitting right at an hour and a half. So we're gonna end this here. Callis, do you have any final thoughts as we close out the night?
Yeah, you know what? Great time to be on with you guys. I really appreciate you inviting me up. I did warn you before I came up that I had a couple whiskeys, so I appreciate you coming up. Let me coming up anyways. I apologize for everyone for my sort of discombobulated thoughts tonight. In the end, I just gotta say, I'm super thrilled and happy to be involved in these projects. World Mobile, Minutes Network, Unity Network. I cannot describe the level of excitement I have here. You know, there's looking around at all the other deep end projects, looking around at all the other opportunities in crypto. There's very little that compares to what we see here. And you know, for the skeptics out there, maybe we haven't seen this yet. Maybe we haven't seen it come to fruition. I fully understand your skepticism. But look at the vision. Just look at there's no one else that has this level of vision. There's no one else that can lay it out like these guys do. And I fully stand behind that comment. I don't think anyone else in the industry can even come close to the detail and the experience that World Mobile, Minutes Network, and Unity Network has. So stick it out, have some patience, you know, have some grace when these guys can't maybe deliver at the timelines that they think they can. It's still coming. And I fully believe that. And I think, you know, anyone who sticks around is going to be pretty much rewarded for their patience and their faith. And yeah, that's a trust me, bro promise. And I understand, you know, this is crypto, but again, I firmly believe that is the best possible opportunity in crypto right now. You may have your own opinion. That's fine. But that's it. And to Rob and Cal, thanks very much for having me on. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yay. Thank you, Callis, for joining our show. And I 100% agree with you. You're hit it very well. You said it very well right now. Even though you're 7 beers in already, you put it together quite well. Thanks for coming to our show. By the way, you're always welcome on. And you know, you might say that it's trust me, bro, but I see it as something that's actually quite revolutionary and actually having never been built before with all three projects. And you know, like Unity specifically, like there has never been a real edge network like Unity is being built. So whether you believe it or not, you have to admit that this is something quite special and something quite unique, and it's a very, very interesting. That's why the community is so engaged and so active, and there's so many passionate people. And you know, some are maybe not as patient as others, you know, some are not as understanding as others, but I think it all comes from passion, and deep down, whether they're unhappy with the current reward structure or recalibration or whatever it is. I know deep down everyone wants the project to succeed. So yeah. Thank you for all of our regular listeners. I appreciate you guys taking the time and spending your Friday evenings listening to me, Rob, and Callis speak. And I hope you learned a little bit with our show today. I appreciate Dario from Note for Good. We're very, very thankful for you allowing and giving back to the community and giving away these tickets. I'm sure a lot of people are going to appreciate you and give you a big, big hug at Rare when they see you, including myself. You've been very, very kind to us, so we appreciate you very much. So today we talked about a lot of different things, one of which is the Ember node, which I'm personally really excited about because as Rob put it so well together, Ember node is going to be very unique in where it sits in the network, and it's going to bring a lot of different opportunities in Pakistan. It's going to make Pakistan a really interesting place full of connectivity, and a lot more people are going to come online now because of the Ember node, which I'm happy to see. You know, we're here not only for the monetization aspect of everything, but we're actually here also to provide connectivity to people who lack it. So I think that's very, very important. Earlier on, I touched upon the affiliate codes and the new AMS being released. If actually I forgot to mention, but if you're a network builder and you log into the currently released network builder website, there's actually now sub affiliate codes that you can apply for, which is pretty cool. So if you're looking to build a team of salespeople, or if you have a son, daughter, cousin, brother that you want to employ and give a sub affiliate code, you can go ahead and do that and apply for that, which is actually pretty cool. And let's see what else. We didn't talk about Earth nodes, even though this week we had a very monumental thing happen within the Earth node network, and we were seeing the closed user group excitement and engagement, and we've seen that things are starting to kick off. They've hit a couple milestones, and it's very exciting. I mean, you can feel the excitement in the chats. You see it once the calls happen. Everyone's super pumped because we're definitely inching very close to hitting that public test net and allowing all the other Earth node operators who are itching to get on and experience the one-of-a-kind Earth node network that's been built for quite a long time. And I'm sure everyone's going to appreciate it once it goes live and once they see what kind of monster World Mobile has been building. I think that's all from me. Just congratulations to everyone that won the tickets. I can't wait to see you guys and at Rare this year. I'm super excited. I finally get to go. We're gonna have so much fun. And yeah, shots and whiskey on Callis, by the way. That's even though he's gone, you know, he's like, I'm out, guys, you know. But shots and whiskey on him for sure. All right, have a good Friday night, and next week we'll see you guys on our X Space.
Yep, absolutely. It was a fun night here tonight. I kind of wish I was partaking in some of that Canadian whiskey that Callis was downing. Sounds really good. But anyway, it's been a good night. Like you said, it's a lot of things happening, a lot of excitement building, and a lot of positivity. It's going to carry this thing a long way. I'm excited for Matt and for Brad. Looking forward to seeing them again at Rare Evo. Congratulations for winning. Again, thank you to Dario for providing those things. And you know, it's Cal, we've been doing this for 3.5 years, pretty much nonstop. It's been 3.5 years. It was our first show was, I believe, November 1st of 2022. Was the first one. I misspoke yesterday. There's been so many different dates and so many different milestones happen. I said 2023. It was 2022. Rare Bloom was in I don't even remember what month it was. I think September or early October of 2022. And that was when we all met. We all got together, and we've been doing this since November. So it's been 3.5 years. You know, we've done this in multiple states. We've live streamed from ETH Denver. We've done shows in Las Vegas at Rare. I mean, we've met so many great people along the way. People like Friezo, who were here earlier. He's probably in bed right now because it's 4:30 in the morning in the Netherlands. So it's fun to be able to see everyone shows up, everyone partakes, and everyone's passionate about it. Some people come up on the stage and we have a great time with them. And again, this is a show for the community. It's built by community members, and the goal is just to empower and encourage, and if we can educate people along the way. But the reality is, we're all a part of this. We're all doing this, and it's fun to be able to connect and share the enthusiasm, share the passion, gather wisdom, gather insight along the way. And when one of us feels like, hey, we can't keep up, that's when somebody else steps up and says, hey, here, I got you. I'm gonna help you along the way, because I've been able to keep up. I've been able to forge ahead. And I know that as network builder happens, we're gonna have a lot of that. We're gonna have people who are very business minded, very sales minded, who know how to make these things happen. And there'll be people that don't have that, and will be saying, "Hey, we need to learn. We need some encouragement. We need some how tos and some step by steps to be successful in this, because the opportunity is there, the desire is there, and there are people within this community that absolutely have the ability to make this happen. I think we all do, but there's gonna be some that are just gonna shine. And the nice thing is, when the people that we know, that's not going to be information that's going to be harbored and kept to themselves. It's something that's going to be passed around, because it's not a competition. When one of us wins, we all win, because everything goes through the air nodes, everything goes to the earth nodes, everything goes into the token, and we all get to benefit from that. So very thankful for how the ecosystems have come together into one giant thing, which is the World Mobile Chain and everything on it. So we're building, we're doing these things together. We're hanging out in person. We're hanging out every week online. Lots to come, and I'm looking forward to it. So next week we will be on X next week, on Saturday, 11 my time, which is Central Time, so 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and I think UTC is, it's at about I want to say 4 or 5 p.m. UTC. I got to double check that, but we'll be here. If you guys need anything in the meantime, please don't hesitate to reach out. Send us a DM, reach out. We are online, available to help if there's anything we can do. But again, keep going, keep building, and we will talk to everybody again next week. So thank you for being here. Have a great weekend, and looking forward to it. Talk to you everyone very, very soon.